Welcome to another episode of The American Dream, a show that's unscripted, that combats negative media, commercial-free. If you get anything out of today's show, it's about dreaming big. Let's start the show right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
So we talk about this show, The American Dream. A big piece of it is how it's a mindset, not a circumstance. I don't know if there's anyone who better illustrates it than a guy named Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a guy who came from nothing. He's built a successful empire that sells books, products, coaching. Overall, just a very inspirational guy. So we're here in Miami and we're sitting in a bank. Now, what you don't know is the bank, actually all this commercial space, Grant just bought it. So we're gonna go meet Grant, we're gonna walk around, show his company culture, get to know his story a little bit better, and then we're gonna go visit his private jet. So this should be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and let's check this out. Follow me.
So let me bring you back here, Craig.
Okay.
So this is our e-commerce right here. We'll do about maybe 40 this year.
Snap a few shots and everything.
And so, hey, Ryan Secco, how you doing? Amazing. He's a pilot and works in the real estate. He's moved from phones to pilot to we're going to raise $1 billion in cash for real estate deals. So we bought this building and we're blowing out all the way to that side. I need all the room in it. Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Hey, so this is the boiler room right here, okay? These guys are making phone calls all day long, cold calls, warm calls, and follow-up calls. Hey, guys, say hi to Craig, will you? That's how we roll, dog. That's how we roll.
Hey, let me get 2 claps to the Ric Flair!
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm Kara Kay with The American Dream. I get to meet with Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing. It's an exclusive interview and it's one you won't want to miss. Are you ready to cheers to your book and all your success?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we drinking this?
Yeah, I mean,
Are we chugging
I know
it?
nothing about wine. I'm Kara Kay, and today I get to speak with Ryan Serhant. He is here in San Diego promoting his book. We are excited to read it. You do so well in real estate, and you know the power of media and TV. Thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
With the wine in the wine room.
It couldn't be classier, in my opinion.
I know, this is very classy. I should have worn a tie.
So I know that you know the importance of TV and media. How important do you think that is in real estate today?
I think media is incredibly important in all businesses. I think any business that does anything for marketing in any way, shape, or form is now a media company. I mean, if you're a real estate brokerage like I am in New York City, we don't build the apartments, we don't build the buildings. We're not really real estate brokers, we're media brokers, right? I find different ways to market my properties via media. And so for me, television has been huge, and now we do a lot through the digital space, right? You can see that a lot of networks are going digital. I have a YouTube vlog now, just to try to hit a different viewer base. It's really important.
Sure, I think you, of all people, know the importance of getting exposure to listings, which is why you've gotten into TV and media. Now talk about the transition into how important it is to be social as well as on TV.
Yeah, I think that if you're a salesperson, right, which is what the book is for, is anybody who sells anything, you're really selling yourself, right? You're creating a relationship. You sometimes have to talk about the product. Sometimes you have to go into the price. Sometimes you have to go into the features. You need to have all that information, but that's what you need to do. That's the job, right? Everything else, especially through social media, especially through different forms of media, is building that relationship passively, right? This, you and I talking right now, is an active communication, building a relationship. But I can hit so many more people through social, through YouTube, through LinkedIn articles. People talk about passive income all the time. For salespeople and for a lot of people in our generation, kind of the gig generation, we have passive relationships, our passive income, because those will turn into other sources of work for us down the line, and we just don't even know what they are.
If you are talking to a realtor who really wants to make it tomorrow and in the future, what advice would you give them?
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month, who aren't doing anything on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter, and they say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you.
Thank you for watching. Link, subscribe, you know what to do. Oh.
Like and subscribe.
Oh.
Not like and subscribe.
You can't sit there and complain about not having business or sit there and complain about how the market's so tough if you're not actively doing things that are under your control. And what's under your control is putting out media. There's so many different places to absorb content these days, and so many real places to hit real people, to target them directly in your neighborhood, on your block, like that age group. It's all about consistency too, right? It's a really, really important word, and it takes a long time. Like for me, it took me 3 years before I stopped thinking about quitting real estate every day. It was tough. And same thing for social media and all forms of media. Like, you have to be consistent with what you put out there all the time, and that way people know what to look for.
Now, what do you guys think as a team? What does the American dream, I guess, mean to you in your office?
It's freedom of choice to be able to own a home if you want, or rent a home if you want, or to be able to have this job or this opportunity or that opportunity without repercussion other than your own expectations and your own stress that you put on yourself. I really do think that everybody has that thing in their stomach that is trying to get them to that next level in their life that they actually can take control of, but not everybody wants it. And that's the one thing I can't teach. Like, I can teach a lot in the book about how to find what your motivation is, how to find what's going to wake you up every day, how to find what's going to help you make a little bit of extra money every single month, but I can't teach you to want more for yourself. You have to want that on your own. So we're cheersing to the American dream?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that again.
Okay.
So it's like 3 out.
Okay,
Cheers.
cheers.
All right.
To the American dream.
Am I supposed to drink more?
No.
Okay.
How did we do? I am infamously terrible at alcohol.
No, I'm a real dude, and
So where are we? What is this here?
this is the e-commerce department. So we do about 40 million out of here.
Okay, so you do.
Everything: Facebook, Instagram, webinars.
What is the product line?
So the
Coaching.
the product line's everything from 10x hat, $20, cufflinks, to $80,000 program right here. So this is educational. This is what I started with. I was basically educating sales organizations, big companies like from banks to car dealers, car manufacturers, on how to handle a customer differently. So he's doing a video Skype conference call. Let's go back and see. Hey guys, how's it going, guys?
They can hear you.
What's up, baby?
Hey, you guys are awesome, man. I got my little glow on. How do I look?
You're looking good. You look amazing.
Dave's got a little filter, light filter here.
For that.
Hey, really appreciate you guys. William, Jason, Elliot, Amanda, Lauren, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a customer. Anything we can do to help you guys, let us know, all right? Okay, thank you. So that's how we support our customers through Skype calls, Zoom, video conference. What's up here? This is a stat board. Okay, this is Jeremy's made 110 calls. George Badia's got 2 minutes and 44 seconds, 2 hours and 44 minutes of talk time already.
You guys need anything, let us know in between.
Corey Gill, I don't know where Corey Gill, where you at, Corey Gill? 2 appointments set, man? Did you set them both? Your mom and your uncle.
I'm not doing the power.
Come on, man, come on.
Welcome back to The American Dream. I want to introduce Josh Lioce. He is no stranger to this program. He is the broker, owner, and team leader of Lioce Properties. And he's brought along a very special guest with him today, Massachusetts State Senator Ryan Fattman. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on our program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, Josh, I want to give you an opportunity to kick this off. Tell me a little bit about how you know Senator Fattman.
Well, I've been a big fan of Senator Fattman since he got into just politics in general, from state rep to now state senator. I actually have the privilege of working alongside Ryan on the Downtown Revitalization Committee, working with that committee through his office. He's been a huge part of our success and our growth that we just are experiencing as a young group. So I thought it would be great to have him on and kind of talk about some of the things he's doing and some of the things Massachusetts is seeing and experiencing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Senator Fattman, for being with us.
Thank you for having me on, Jen.
So tell me a little bit, Senator, about what the state of the Massachusetts economy is right now.
Yeah, thanks for the question. It's really in the right direction. There's a lot of great things happening in Massachusetts, and that starts with the reflection of the last 4 years. We've had 150,000 new jobs added to the Massachusetts economy. For the first time in 20 years, we have the lowest unemployment rate. And more people are working now than any other time in Massachusetts history. When you calculate all these things, you see a strong economy, low unemployment, jobs being created. It's a fantastic time to be living in Massachusetts.
How does the state budget reflect the economy?
Well, with the new economic growth, the new jobs that have been created, we've seen a budget surplus and $600 million put into reserves, an investment in education, $500 million, about $4.91 billion spent on public education, the most in Massachusetts history. And those results have reflected in great things happening. We have the #1 test scores for math and reading in the country. STEM graduation rates are the highest in the nation. So there's a lot of good things happening. And where that reflects locally and how Josh and I know each other, when there's $1 billion surplus, that allows money for grants. And he had approached me about downtown revitalization in the town of Milford, a wonderful community with about 38,000 people that I represent. And we're working together, investing $150,000 in state money that I was able to get in the budget, partnering with the municipality for their budget, and trying to bring some economic growth down in Central Street and downtown area.
Fantastic. Well, Senator, speaking of growth, what are some of the other economic opportunities for economic and regulatory reform in Massachusetts?
Well, it's a great question, Jen, and I like to look at the economy as a millennial, right? I'm from this new generation of Americans that has instituted, the technology into society, whether it be social media or Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, things that are very exciting. One of the things that was brought to my attention, my hometown Sutton, I've been getting my hair cut at the same place my entire life. Josh doesn't have that problem.
I don't have that issue.
And a woman next to me, she was asking the barber whether or not they could go into her home in order to cut her husband's hair. He was very sick. And when I listened to the response, I was shocked. The rules and regulations in Massachusetts did not allow for a barber or a salonist or anybody in the cosmetology industry to actually go to somebody's house and perform those services. It's illegal. So I passed a law that got rid of that licensing, that said you don't need to just practice at a physical nexus. You can actually go to somebody's house, cut their hair. For example, there's now businesses that have sprung out of this on the Boston Common, where they set up a trailer and people come to that trailer at lunchtime, get their hair cut. They get the convenience of that opportunity and spend more time after work spending with their family.
I love it. Well, you're forward thinking and you're making the changes that people want to see happen. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Jen.
And we'll be right back with more of The American Dream.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
What I love about you, Grant, is that there's a lot of people out there right now, and they're preaching bullshit, right? There's a lot of snake oil salesmen that live online now, and I've followed you, gotten to know you. You really live what you talk about. I mean, 10X isn't just some brand. Like, you're actually someone who invests time, energy, and capital into growth. Where does that inspiration come from? Because it's definitely real, man.
In the beginning years of me being an entrepreneur, I didn't spend any money. I didn't have any employees. I had a half of an employee. I worked out of my office. I did everything on the cheap.
What year was this?
This is, late 90s.
Okay.
Even for the first 20 years though of my career, like if you go back and look at what I was doing, I was a speaker and a consultant on how to grow a business, but I didn't have a business.
Okay.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
Because every time I'm talking to a guy about growing a business, when I went back to my hotel that night, I was just selling time.
Sure.
I was the guy you were describing.
Why do you feel so much more confident today?
I got 115 employees that 30 of them probably will become millionaires.
Wow.
I'm not Facebook. I'm not Amazon. Like, I'm not doing this on the backs of Wall Street. This is now I'm orchestrating a business. This has all happened in the last 8 or 9 years.
Incredible.
Yeah. When you take the lid off of, that's why I'm so passionate about what I talk about. Because when you take the lid off of this idea that you're going to work from home, that's so popular today.
Yep.
You're going to be a consultant or an advertiser or a marketer from your bedroom, and you're going to make millions of dollars. It doesn't matter. You're still not going to be a business.
The online world creates so much opportunity, but there's also so much phoniness to it, right? And I'm in the middle of writing a book right now called American Dream 2.0, and it's talking about the digital age, connectivity, but you can't ignore work ethic and real relationships and building social capital. And I think if you can bring those worlds together, it's probably the greatest opportunity in the history of mankind.
I mean, look at you left San Diego to come to Miami to build your business out. You can't.
Yeah, you got to get here. Yeah.
You can't do everything on Facebook and Instagram. There's still got to be somebody putting time and energy and resources and risk. I really admire that about what you guys are doing with American Dream.
Well, you know, and think about that term, the American Dream. A lot of people say it's dead, right? Yeah. And the moment you stop dreaming, I think, is the moment that you're dead. Tell us what's next for you. So you got a big event coming up, but give us 3, 5, 10 years. Where do you think you go from here?
You know, I have a company that I think I can take to $10 billion. My goal is to build the biggest real estate company, privately held real estate company in the country.
So you're still inspired, still hustling.
Yeah, still excited. We just, just released a book. It was the best release of any book I've ever done by 10 times.
Wow.
And so we're excited about a lot of stuff. I want to make the people that either partner with me or work with me to be, to do as well as I'm doing, if that's possible. And I think it is.
We're really inspiring people, man. As I was driving over here, we're posting, doing the social media thing too, and I can't tell you how many messages I'm getting from people telling me to thank you.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Man.
Yeah, so I hope you get that on the day-to-day, but I just want to share that with you. Yeah. Appreciate you having us out here.
Thank you,
man.
a lot of fun. Appreciate you, okay? We'll take it up in the air next time.
Yeah, let's do it.
We want to welcome back to the show out of the Boston market, Ryan Wilson, owner and CEO of the Wilson Group, the #1 team with Keller Williams, Chestnut Hill, and Mian LaVallee. She is the senior partner of the Wilson Group with Keller Williams Realty. Thank you both so much for being back on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So, Ryan, I'm going to start with you. Everyone lately has been talking about a shift in the market. Should we be worried?
It's funny you ask, and it really depends on who you ask. If you're a Patriots fan, yeah, we're feeling a little bit of a shift. But realistically, I mean, if you look at it, we try to look at it from a macro point of view. So if you look back over the last 50 years in real estate, there's always a shift. Sometimes that's every 6 to 8 years. So right now, if we look at it, where the market started to tank in 2009, started to recover around 2012, and now we're almost 7 years later, it's bound to happen. So yes, we think it's on its way.
And Mian, to that point, what are you telling your clients that are coming to you and they're concerned and they're worried? What do you say to ease their fears?
Well, we kind of echo the same sentiment. Obviously, we're okay with the shift because it's eventually going to come down to a more normal market that we're all typically used to, wherein sometimes we're not getting the 12 to 15 offers first weekend out, we're getting 3 to 6 offers, so we're still getting a great price and many people raising their hands to purchase it. It's just not going gangbusters as before, and we're actually okay with that.
Sure, and year over year, value is still appreciating, and that's really, at the end of the day, what we're looking for. Mian, what should sellers do to put themselves in the best possible position now moving forward, now that we're in the fall and then moving into the winter time?
You know, there's a lot of things that sellers can do. It's going to be first a question we actually push back to them to say, you know, are you okay with waiting until spring? And a lot of sellers are. They want to have one more Thanksgiving and Christmas in their home. They have a lot of activities going on with either their kids or family coming to visit. And this is a great time for those sellers to tackle projects on the exterior, getting their home ready from the inside, finishing projects in and around the basement. But for those sellers who actually are really show ready and they don't know it yet, we do encourage them to go on the market in the fall. We have traditionally and statistically really enjoyed a fall market here. And until it gets 10 feet of snow, Boston, people are out looking every weekend. So there's a lot of deals to be had in the fall market.
And if you look at it from a data perspective as well, right now we're at record highs for prices. So single families in Boston and greater Boston saw record highs of $625,000. And for condos, they're seeing record highs of $573 year over year for this month. So it's a great market to sell right now. And obviously with the uncertainty of what's going to happen in the spring, we definitely encourage people to get on the market if they're prepared to do so right now.
Sure, and isn't it true that people looking for property in the fall into the winter time are serious buyers?
100%. I actually tell the same story every year. I'm sure Ryan's sick of hearing it. Every home I've bought the last 3 or 5 years have been in November. It just happens to work out that way. I always tell my sellers, listen, if your home's on the market in November, the open houses are going to be filled with people who really want to buy. And if we're talking to our buyers, we say if you're going out in November and you're looking at houses, those sellers really want to sell. So it's usually a much easier marriage and a lot of deals to be had.
Yeah, and the optimism's still great for buyers. You know, the rates are still ridiculously low, while also the sellers can capitalize on, you know, improved equity in their homes. So it can sincerely be a win-win.
Well, if people are looking to buy, we are actually highlighting a couple of properties today. You two have 2 listings that you wanted to talk about. Mian, I want to start with you. Tell me about this property.
Yes, we have 2 really beautiful new listings and kind of indicative of those people who are ready to go this fall. So we have a gorgeous 5-bedroom colonial in Newton, extremely sought after part of Newton, the Newton Highlands, directly across from an elementary school. Like I said, 5 beds, 4 full baths, full finished basement, backing to trees. It's a beautiful home that's generational, meaning you have some bedrooms on the main level as well as bedrooms upstairs, and big enough for everyone to live in. We're expecting it to go pretty quickly, but it should be coming on next week.
Fantastic. And yours, Ryan?
Yes. The other end of the spectrum, a 2-bedroom condo just came on the market in Bedford. Walking distance to high school, middle school, library, shops, restaurants. It's a great condo, top floor. So it shows beautifully. We would love you to come take a look.
Absolutely. And if our viewers are watching you too and they're interested, we encourage them to reach out to you. Thank you both so much for being back on The American Dream.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jen.
And we'll be right back with more of the show.
So that's all for today's episode of The American Dream. Look, The American Dream is about overcoming adversity or dreaming big. Hope you enjoyed today's show, always combating negative media. Don't forget you can follow us on social media. See you next week.
Come back.